From the second half of the 30s of the last century, the museum begins to collect works of national decorative and applied art. Uzbekistan possessed a unique historical and cultural heritage, and an important part of it was traditional arts and crafts, and certainly in the 30s there was a great interest in traditional culture, which was still preserved. Great master remained, they continued work, and these ethnographic expeditions organized by the State Museum of Art, it certainly contributed to the fact that the collection was replenished with various works of craft. It can be stated that museum became the second period. Until the 60s, huge expeditionary work was carried out. It should be noted that managers who worked in this museum and scientists who contributed to this museum are an indispensable part of the development of art and culture of Uzbekistan. Numerous expeditions to various regions of Uzbekistan allowed to collect unique collections of folk art. The most valuable items that the Uzbek people have had been carefully collected. I did not witness it anywhere in the world, and I was in countries of the East, in the countries of the West, where there are a lot of collections of Eastern traditions. But those that are in our areas, say embroidery, atlas, bekasabs, adras, and so on, carpets, skull caps, this is unique and it's found nowhere else. Therefore, I still think that we have the most valuable samples of our applied art items. Skillful and talented wood carving adorns the doors created by masters of the Tashkent, Khiva, and Kokand schools. Patterns of plant and geometric patterns, copper-chased kumgans, aftaba, and dashui make these widely used items in everyday life genuine works of art. The earliest of them date back to the 18th century. Honed by centuries-old traditions, they are flawless in their forms. The traditional suzane presented in the exhibition dates back to the 19th century. Uzbek embroidery is strictly regulated by customs and rights of the people. They embodied the poetic views of skilled craftswomen about the beauty of the world around them. The symbolism of patterns was transmitted through the female line from generation to generation, with a variety of embroidery reflected the desire of people to a bright and colorful design of their life. The collections of the museum include more than 2,000 patterns of hand embroidery. Another unique collection of the museum is the collection of gold embroidery. These are gorgeous men's and women's bathrobes. Zardozi Zamendozi continues sewing, and with the pattern of a drawing by Zardozi Guldozi. Since the 19th century, the art of gold embroidery was concentrated exclusively in Bukhara. During the reign of Muzaffar Khan, it was the years of 1860 to 1885, he reigned for 25 years in the arch at the emir's residence. Court gold embroidery workshops were organized, where only men embroidered velvet and silk with gold threads, which were called zardust. Fabrics for gold dressing gowns were imported from Persia and Turkey, India and Syria, and even from France. The outstanding phenomena of folk art were silk and semi-silk national fabrics. There were legends about the origin of the drawing. A blurry, literally melting pattern was compared with clouds floating in the sky and with images of traditional jewelry. Uzbek fabrics were a huge success in the Middle East and Europe. The collection of jewelry of the museum is a magnificent work of the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century. Very lush, rich, inlaid with corals, chest decorations of the shokil earrings, and tumar of the Khwarezm school. Exquisite enameled nozigardons and zebigards with precious and semi-precious stones created in Bukhara and Tashkent. Their artistic expression and value is indisputable, but in their creation there was a social gradation. Gold and gilded were intended only for the nobility. The middle layers wore silver jewelry, often inlaid with colored glass. Products made of copper and bronze were the opulences of the poor. Uzbek jewelers alike owned both casting and forging, techniques of open work filigree and engraving.